Cindy here with Monarch Mom DIY. Excited to be here crafting on the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. And I'm excited for what we're going to make today because my wagon here needs to be updated from Easter. So I'm going to pop over here on my phone and share this live to my page, Monarch Mom DIY. If you're not already following me, I would love it if you would. Then you will see all the crafts that I do. I am an affiliate for Christina. Is it going to share? There. That's weird. Why does it do it like that? It doesn't just like share it. Weird. Facebook's doing something different now when you share a video. So, okay. I guess that's what it's going to look like. All right. Anyway, hey Marlene. If you're not familiar, I do not cut these wood kits. Christina does. And she runs the website. She ships out all the orders after she cuts them. But she does have a handful of us that are affiliates for her. So each month we pick out some kits. We share them on here on her Facebook page. I also share them every Wednesday night on my YouTube channel, also Monarch Mom DIY. And it's called Wood Kit Wednesday. I highlight a wood kit every Wednesday night. So I'll be doing that tomorrow night. And then the last Wednesday of the month, I do a special Wood Kit Wednesday. I do a craft with me. And it's usually one of the newer kits. So not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, I will be doing the cottage drawer, the new little cottage drawer. I'm very excited. So follow me also or subscribe over to my YouTube channel so you can catch those wood kits as well. But like I said, my wagon, this is one of Christina's interchangeable sets. So if I take out the 3 Easter pieces and set them over here, each wagon insert set has 3 pieces that can go inside and then one, what would you call this? Placard, sign, something that hangs on the front. Now, if you are interested in the link for the kit I'm going to show you and or the wagon, your code word is home. So if you put home in the chat, if you're here live, if you put home in the comments when you're watching the replay, Christina will send you my affiliate link for the wagon and for the home tweet home kit we're going to do. Now, one thing to note about the wagon, when you get the wagon kit, you can have it open on the front. It's kind of hard to tell. There, you can tell it's open in the front. Or you can have it where it's like this tall on both sides. Whatever you want. Maybe it helps hold the pieces in. I don't know. But I did mine in antique wax and black so that whatever kit goes inside is going to look good. All right. Hello, Noble. Nice to see you. If you're on the live, go ahead and say hi in the chat. That kind of gets the Facebook algorithm going. And then maybe they'll show our live video here to more people. So we are doing the home tweet home. I bet you can guess what might be part of this kit with a name like that. Wagon kit. So now these pieces, none of them are painted or glued, obviously. So I'm going to have to hold them kind of flat. But the round for this kit is so cute. It says, welcome to our nest. Has a little nest with 3 little eggs. All these are individual letters, so we're definitely going to need our sticky board to paint those without having to hold them all individually. Okay. The little placard to hang in the front simply says home tweet home. These are in 3 pieces, the words. So we'll hang that on the front. Then we've got some birds and some bird things. We have a little bird bath with 2 little birds on here that are very 3D. So we'll be painting those pieces. And this piece does have a stand. Oh, maybe. Hold on, maybe it does matter which one of these it goes in. Oh. I'm having a little trouble with my stand, but it might be just because of the weird way that I'm holding. So anyway, this one has a stand to make it stand up if you want. I mean, it would stand up enough leaning against, you know, the back of the wagon here. But if you wanted to put it somewhere else, like on a tiered tray, you'd want that. So we got the little bird bath. And then we have this adorable bird house with another bird, 2 sets of flowers, lots of fun designs, squiggly lines, polka dots. You could make this as wild as you want. Or if you don't want it wild, flip the piece around and it's more solid. I wonder, you can't do that on this piece because that, well, let me see. Hold on. Hold, please. If I flipped this around, nope, you can't because then this would be here and that looks weird. So, you know, just paint over them or sand them lightly if you don't want the, what would I call that? I'd call that like Mary Englebright style. You know, the wavy lines and the polka dots. All right, so bird bath, bird house, round, and the sign. Those are the 4 pieces. Again, your, oh yeah, Susie. You just told me that was your name earlier today, too. I just want to try something with, I don't know, Christina, the stands seem, the hole doesn't seem to be cut enough for these to go in here. So I may have to improvise a little bit on the stands. So note that for future. I don't know if those stands are cut correctly. But anyway, if I sand the bottom of this, it may fit in there a little bit better. But I don't really need to worry about the stands because I'm going to have them in my wagon. Okay. So now that we've made ourselves familiar with the 4 pieces, I'm going to bring my sticky board over because I know I'm going to need it. And if you've watched me do these before, they don't fit. It seems like the holes here are too narrow to fit the, too narrow. They're not open enough, if that makes sense. I think they're wide enough this way, just not this way. Usually they slip right in, so that's why I was kind of surprised. But it's all right. We'll figure it out. Yeah, they're definitely wide enough long ways. Okay. Anyway, I feel like it's better to have them a little too big because then you can just adjust with glue. Okay, so if you've watched me before, the thing that takes the longest, I won't say it's the most difficult, but it takes the longest, is deciding what colors you're going to use and what colors you're going to paint certain things. So I kind of thought about that a little bit. I'm going to use dusk and pool for my birds. Maybe some other parts, but for sure my birds are going to be these 2 blues. My bird bath, I believe I'm going to do elephant. I may lighten it up with a little bit of white. I have black. I have antique wax, at least for my nest. I'll probably use pool blue for the eggs. The background of Home Tweet Home, I think I'm going to do white and maybe antique it up with a little bit of the elephant. So the words Home Tweet Home will probably be any combination of pink sky, ballet slipper, dusk, or pool. Those are like my 2 pinks. You can't see them. And my 2 blues that I'm using. Okay? Pink sky is kind of a reddish. And then, of course, I have white. So I'm going to start with what I know for sure I'm going to do. And we're going to start with white. I'm going to use these foam sponges. They are the easiest. And I'm just going to do a nice light layer over the front of my, I almost want to call it a license plate. It's a little longer than a normal license plate, but it's kind of the shape. Now, the words Home Tweet Home are etched into this, so I'll be able to see where to place my other pieces. But it's okay if they're mostly covered because you'll be able to see them enough once your paint dries to place your words. All right. So I think the two words of home, I know I'm going to use these two pinks for a lot of the flowers. You know what else I need? Oh, I might use a paint marker for the green. I also have paint markers because some of the details, like on the birdhouse, the squiggles and the polka dots and the flowers especially, are kind of small. So I am going to use paint markers for that. Now I think I want to do, while I have my white out, I'm going to do all these words, welcome to our nest. I'm going to do these with white as well. So let's stick these down to our tape. And probably I'll just pounce on each one a couple times to get the white color on there. Nest. Okay. So I still got my white out here. You know what? I want to go back to, there we go. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of pound on each letter. That way it covers it, but you don't get a ton of paint because I'm not swiping. And then they dry pretty fast too, which is nice. Who is crafting with me next Wednesday? Did anybody get the Cottage drawer from my link? I'm excited for it. All right, making sure those are covered, just kind of twisting the sponge a little bit. All right, so there's that. I think for Home Tweet Home, I'm going to do Pink Sky for home. And then I think I'm going to do Dusk for Tweet. So let's get a couple more sponges. I get the ones from Hobby Lobby. You pinned the word. Oh, okay. Yes, comment home for the links to these kits, or this kit, and the Wagon also. So just all you have to do is put that one word in the chat or the comments if you're on the replay, and that should come right to your messages, I believe, right, Christina? It's not a reply, it's like a message that goes to their messenger. All right, there's Pink Sky, and then Dusk for Tweet, and then we'll probably get started on our birds because we're going to use these two blues for our birds as well. Cute, cute. I know Christina lives not far from me. She's in Ohio. I'm in Michigan. We are so excited for spring to be here. All right, let me get the top layers of the birds. We've got 1, 2, 3. So I think the ones that are, so these two are together on the bird bath. So I'm kind of going to do them opposite. So I'm going to do the main body of the bird of this one in Dusk. And I'm going to do the wing of this one and the wing of that one in Dusk. Okay, I want to grab my, actually, I don't really need to use my pokey tool on these because that's going to have the separate wing over top. But on the actual wing, I may want to just get the paint out of the little lines. All right. How are we doing? Yes, you get a message. Christina has confirmed. All right, and pool is just a little bit of a lighter blue, more like a powder blue, I guess. So now we're gonna do the wing, the bird, and the bird. So the eyeballs I'll come back and do with a paint marker, so I don't need to worry about cleaning that out. But on this wing, there's just some little detailed, what would you call those? I don't know, just a little detailed etching for the shape of the wing. Okay, so we may do a little shading on our birds of the opposite blues. I just use paint that's still on my my sponge. Okay, now this is dry already. I'm wondering though if I want to, instead of doing gray, I think I just want to use this. Well, let's see how this pool blue looks. It's not very dark, so I just kind of go around the edges a little bit. Maybe even a little streaky. Kind of like that. Yeah, I just used a little bit that was on the sponge still. That looks cute. So now I can grab my glue. And I've got the word home. Just put a little bit on the back. Don't need a ton. Just a couple little dots. And it says home. And tweet. Oh, that's so cute. And then home again. Yay. Okay. All right, so once that dries, we'll have our first piece all done. So I'm going to move this out of the way. We won't forget about it though. All right, let's come to our welcome to our nest. I think I want to use the pink sky color because I'm going to do the nest in antique wax. I'm going to do the eggs in the two blues. I've already done the words in white. So I'm going to do our round here with pink sky. And I'm doing it as lightly as I can. I will come back with my pokey tool and clean out any paint that I got in the little lines that make it look like shiplap, which is just one of those little touches that is just so cute. I love it. Okay, pokey tool. Do any of you guys have the wagon? I have it and I love it. I have not as many sets for the wagon as I do for some of the other interchangeable sets. Okay, there it is. And you can still see where the words are supposed to go and where the nest is supposed to go. Okay, so our eggs, I can just paint those three separate. With our blues, I probably can use what's on my sponge. So I'm going to do two of them with dusk and one with pool. Kind of opposite of what I did on the birds. But they're so close. They look pretty close. All right, then this is all my background. I'm just going to leave that natural. But this nest, I'm going to do with antique wax. I'm going to get a baby wipe, get a little of the wax in my lid, and I'm not going to need very much for this at all. I'm just going to dab some on. And it starts out pretty dark when you put it on, but then the more you wipe it with your baby wipe, the lighter it gets. And if you're like, oh, that's too light, go back over it again with the wax until you get the shade that you want. Now I have the shade that I want. Okay, very good. I think that might be all I use the antique wax for. We'll see. Okay, let's do some eyes and beaks on our little birds here. I'm just using a black paint marker and I'm just dabbing inside the eye there. On all three. Everything is sticking to my sticky board. All right, and then I have this yellow one. Let's see how it looks over the blue paint. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Very good. Now, my eggs are already dry, so I'm gonna do just, I don't even know if this is gonna do anything. You know what I might do instead? Give me that baby wipe that has a little bit of antique wax. Oh, there we go. Let's do a little bit of antique wax around the eggs. Just to, uh-oh, did I lose the live? I don't know what happened. Okay. Well, you guys are still seeing me, right? You do need to make the wagon for yourself. All right, so we'll just countrify these eggs with a little bit of antique wax around the edge. That'll be good. Okay, and then what about our birds? I don't know, I kind of feel like let's just do a little on their tails maybe. A little bit of antique wax. Just a little. Just because we don't want them to just be one color. Birds' feathers are lots more than just one color. And I think I'll do a little antique wax on the other wing piece. And then I can always blend it in with my baby wipe as well. They're so cute. All right, let's glue our birds together. I just need to put the little wing in place. Adorable. Just with the tiny little dot of glue. Don't need a lot. I like this wagon too because it doesn't take up very much space. So if you only have a little bit of space to decorate, like maybe your desk at work or something, it's a really good one because you can change it out and it doesn't take up a lot of space. All right, there's our nest, and then I'll get the eggs in there once that's dry. I do want to just lightly, where's my sander? Where is my sander? Oh, there it is. It was hiding. All right, I just want to lightly sand my round here. Maybe just distress the edges just a little bit. Okay, so we can start putting our letters on here. And these are going to just need the tiniest little bit of glue, like 2 little dots. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do every other letter and then let those dry so I'm not bumping, you know, the other letters next to it. So I'm going to do every other letter, Give those a little bit of space to dry, and then once they're firmly in place, we'll come back and do the other letters, every other. If you get too much glue, just kind of, whoa! I must have pushed the button to raise up my desk. Okay, welcome, every other letter. Got a big, you can just dab a little on the back with your finger. This is just the wood glue from Dollar Tree. I think it works fabulously. Okay, so there's every other letter. I think now we can put our eggs. Let's put our eggs in our, I almost said basket, in our nest. Very cute. I had too much glue coming out. Now I can't get it to come back out. There we go. And that one. Very cute. Oh my goodness, look at that little nest. How sweet is that little nest? I really like that. Okay, that's gonna go on here once we get the rest of our letters on. Okay, we still have the birdhouse and the bird bath. So I think I'm gonna move my birds up to the top here, just so I have a little bit more space. Okay, we'll do our other letters here in a minute. Let's get our bird bath. Now, this I'm just going to paint gray because we've got those other birds that are going to go over the top. And actually, I'm going to do that black, and I feel like, am I missing a little piece? I know I had all the pieces when I went through this. I guess not. Maybe that's just a piece for me to paint, and I'll use a marker for that. Okay, actually I'm going to use a black marker for this edge. And I don't need to paint the birds because they're going to have another one over it. And I'll do that. I guess I can do it before. I guess I could do it before or after. I'm going to paint the rest of it with the gray. All right, so now we're going to use elephant for the rest of the bird bath. Ooh, goodness. Kind of a darkish gray. And that's going to go over top. So I can go ahead and just paint this whole thing. And let me get a little, I mean, this line does not have to be perfect, but get that line a little cleaner. Okay, so that was pretty easy for our bird bath. And then remember, this piece will go over top. So we've got the black on the edge, and then we have this black piece that'll go down here. So even though it looks like it's all one color, it'll actually be two-toned. So, and then our birds on top of that. So that was pretty fast. Okay, the birdhouse. we've got quite a few things going on here. All right, so we've got flowers that I'm going to do the paint markers. Same with this set of 3 flowers. The flowers are separate pieces, so you can take them out and paint them. We'll do that with this too. Okay, and then we've got the background, we've got polka dots, we've got the roof, and we've got this. So I've done, I think, let's do the background with, we've done a background with pink sky, we've done a background with gray, background with white. Let's do the darker of the 2 blues. I mean, it's not even that much darker, but it's a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm just going to do this whole thing with dusk to start out. The whole kit and caboodle. And you'll see why it's okay to do the whole thing, because a lot of overlay pieces are going to go right over the top. Okay. Alrighty, so that's dusk. Now we've got this piece here. We've got this piece here. And I'm just wondering, I'm gonna just sand this to kind of try to get rid of all those zigzags and stuff. Keep them if you like them. And I know Christina's not going to get upset because she didn't design this per se, so I'm not like poo-pooing her idea. I just don't feel like painting in all those little squiggles. This one I'm just going to turn over. But this one, remember, I can't because of those flowers that go over the top. So, I'm going to use, what color should I use for the roof? I'm thinking, I mean, you can still kind of see them a little bit, but it's okay. Now, I just realized the bird that goes on here is going to like blend in. So, maybe the background of our birdhouse needs to be a different color. Or we mix another color in with it. What happens if we just go over this wet blue with white? There, we just made our own new color. That now our bird will stand out more. I think it still needs a little something around the edges. Maybe this gray to give it more of an outline. That's cute. I'm going to do that on all 3 birds. Ooh, that one, my wing is not, there we go. Still a little wet, so I can move it. All right. And this one. Yay. All right, so where are we at? I do need to do the polka dots. What color should I do the polka dots? I think the opening should be black, so it's, I don't know if it's all the way dry. Okay, so what color? Just add antique wax. Sticky mat for a sticky board. Yeah, but then you're gonna get paint all over it, Susie. That's the only thing. This I can just throw it away or take the tape off. Okay, I have I think I have a gray. That I can use for the other part, but the polka dots. Hope not at all make it your, nope, no. Oh, yeah, sticky board is so helpful. I don't know what color to do the polka dots. Why is this so difficult? Should I just do them white? Where's my white marker? That one does not want to work. I think I say this every time that I need to get a new white, and then I don't. What do you guys think for the dots? I guess I could wait. I have a dark blue. I just worry that it's going to be too bright. Okay, so I chose blue. We'll see how I like it. It's a little bit bright, but it's okay. All right, let's glue a couple of these pieces on. There. And there. And this little bird can go in its spot. Make sure they're in place. Okay, coming along. I'm gonna set the birdhouse aside. Come back to my round. Let's do the nest in the middle, and then we'll put the rest of our letters on. And then this one will be done. Oh, it's so cute. all these teeny little letters. Okay, welcome to our nest. All right, so that one's done. Let's get our bird bath, because now we can glue this piece, and you know, I just need to lighten it up a little bit. Where's my white? Hello, white. Oh, no, seriously, where'd my white one go? All right, that's weird. Did I drop it somewhere? Oh, I think it looks blue because I did a little bit of blue on it or something, but let's just get a little bit white on here. Just gonna go around just the outside edges, I guess. Kind of have to go on the inside too. Okay, so that's gonna go there. Barely outlining the bird bath. Give it a little character. All right, so we glue this piece with the birds and the rim of the bird bath. Line it up. Okay. Now that these have set here for a second, I just need to get a little of that extra glue off there. And I got a little one here too. Okay. And we're ready for our other two birds on our bird bath. Right on top. And right on top. Oh, it's so cute. It's just, I'm always amazed when you layer, it's not dry yet, obviously, but when you layer all the pieces, how cute they are. All right, I better lay this flat so that they don't slide out of position. There we go. Okay, coming back, we're almost done. Okay, so what we have left to do, basically, are these flowers. Now I have, this looks like a really bright green. Let's see, this might be too bright. Ooh. Maybe not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna just do the green, the leaves. This is Jot. So this is actually from Dollar Tree. I have no clue how long I've had these green paint markers. Let me try this other one. Oh, this one at least the tip pushes down. So it's going to give me a little more juice. Okay, so the outer ring of the flower is attached to the greenery. So that makes it a little bit more difficult for painting. But if you just use small brushes, let's see what I want to do here. So this is Pink Sky. On this one, I'm going around doing the outer edge of this flower, and it's not going to be perfect. I might get a little bit of it on the green, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, see? So then the inside flower, I'll do, we have not used ballet slipper yet. Oh my goodness. Okay. There we go. And we'll do let's just do the whole thing ballet slipper, and then I can do a dot of the Pink Sky in the middle once it's dry. All right, so this one, I'm gonna do 2 of them. Now let's just do one of them white. All right, so I'm gonna do one of them, the outside ballet slipper. Okay. And then that one, this one I'm going to do the inside with ballet slipper. One of them, if I have a white, that'll work good enough. There we go. We can do this one, white on the outside. So I'm going to use the Pink Sky, the ballet slipper, and the white in different combinations to do these flowers. So that one I'm going to do this whole inside with white. Okay. So this is obviously taking the longest, but I think it'll be worth it to get a nice variety of the flowers. And then as soon as we're done painting these flowers, we can make sure everything is glued together, and we'll put it in our wagon. Okay, that one's also gonna be I did the wrong one. Wait. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, so that's gonna go there. Okay. This one is gonna be light pink. All right, I think that's a good enough variety for the flowers. This one I'll just do the inside with white. All right, now I need to finish. There. All right, so I think we're almost done. Hey, this will be end up being exactly an hour, I think. Let's get the base of the flower glued down on the little roof line there. Okay. And then this one, even though that white is still a little wet, I think we can do it okay without making a mess. And this one. Trying to get it lined up right like that. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. All right, so let me let that dry while I show you this one is ready. Welcome to our nest. And I believe our bird bath is ready with our little birds. And of course, this one's way ready because this one was painted a while ago. And then we're just gonna finish this birdhouse, but we can go ahead and hang this guy on the side of our wagon. That's not straight. There we go. Now it's straight. Okay, that's gonna go there. And I'm gonna go ahead and kind of drop these flowers in, even though they might not be all the way dry, especially that white paint marker. Get in there. All right. So I will need to do just a tiny bit of touch up on the flowers, just to finish those up once they're dry. All right, so there is our birdhouse. What do you guys think? I think it's cute. This one needs white on the inside. And so does this one. Okay. I think that's cute. Now, let's quick close up our paints so we can finish putting everything in the wagon. And then we will sign off. All right. Again, if you are interested in checking out the links for these, the wagon and the Home Tweet Home insert, just type home in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. and it will get sent to you through Facebook Messenger. Okay, there we go, and there we go. Clean up just a tiny bit here. I've got sponges to wash and paintbrushes. Just move those over here out of the way. I don't think I used that one. All right. So, is this one all the way dry yet? Not sure. We'll just pretend. Okay. Here's our wagon. Home sweet home. We've got our bird bath. Now, if you had the stand, Christina's gonna figure this out. Yeah, I think it's just a little, it didn't cut the hole quite big enough for the piece to go in. So she's going to get that fixed. But anyway, I can still put it, you know, leaning back against the back edge here. Or if I wanted, I could really get in there and just open that up a little bit more with a sander. But I think what I'll do is just, for now, I'll just put it in there like so. All right, our birdhouse. Oh, my roof isn't dry all the way. So the cool thing is you can put these in however you want. I think actually I don't know what I want. I want the bird bath in the middle. Then I have the two pink things kind of on the side. Oops. So once you get them how you want them, isn't that cute? Then don't touch it. Welcome to our nest. There we go. And then this, you can even sometimes angle them up. You don't have to see everything of everything, but this one with the words you kind of do. So the other thing you could do is stick something down in here that's going to raise this piece up a little bit. But these are fun. Again, you can also use them on tiered trays. I'm touching something that's still wet. So there you go. There is the welcome to our nest wagon insert and the wagon. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh, she said she fixed the little stands. Awesome. All right. Thanks so much, you guys. Remember to comment or put home in the chat to get the link for this kit. Bye.